11, count them, 11 ranked teams fell over the weekend, including Syracuse, Kansas, Michigan State, Texas, and others. And with all those upsets, there's been some upheaval in the AP top 10. Duke and Virginia jump into the top 5. The Cavaliers up 7 spots after Saturday's win over Syracuse. The Orange dropped 3 spots to number 7, followed by Kansas, Wisconsin, and San Diego State. Hello, everybody. Ray Crawford here with Jordan Cornette, also joined by Seth Davis as well. And I think as the month of March here begins, a lot of fans scratching their heads, just as confused as ever, Seth. So give us your top 5 title contenders right now.
Well, I promised I'm just as confused as everybody else. So the list is certainly going to go longer than 5 teams, but you insisted I only give you 5, so here they are right now. I've got Florida with those 4 senior starters. If it's possible to be the number 1 team in the country and still be underrated, the Gators have pulled that off. I think Kansas, despite the loss at Oklahoma State, probably still has the best A game of any team in the tournament. Wisconsin might be a surprise choice. Right now, I think it's playing the best basketball of any team inside the Big Ten. Syracuse, I know they're having some problems right now, some injury issues, but I think that they're just going through a little speed bump in the road. I think that zone defense makes them awfully hard to play in the NCAA tournament. And finally, Arizona, I was extremely skeptical of this team when Brandon Ashley got hurt, but they have definitely regained their mojo and figured out how to win and win big. So I think Arizona's back on my short list of 5 teams to win it all.
So, Seth, I got to ask a couple questions. I won't get on you like those trolls do on Twitter that attack you. But with no Brandon Ashley, I question the Arizona call. But what really gets me going is Wisconsin. Tell me why you believe this Wisconsin team is a team that can actually do it as opposed to all those other Wisconsin teams from years prior that have gone in with momentum but have not been able to get it done.
Well, if you followed any of my Twitter dialogue over the season, Jordan, then you know that Wisconsin fans are probably a lot more shocked than you to see me putting the Badgers on this list. And it's really because of the changes that they've gone through over the course of the season. People can oftentimes will say, well, you don't need to lose to learn things. But I think Wisconsin learned a lot of things when it lost. And that primarily is you cannot be a perimeter-oriented offensive team and still think that you're going to be able to beat good teams on a consistent basis. So the 2 things that happened there were, first of all, they started deploying Frank Kaminsky, Big Frank the Tank, underneath the basket a lot more often and not making him just a 3-point shooter. Of course, he's an excellent 3-point shooter despite being 7 feet tall. And the biggest thing, Jordan, is the emergence of the freshman Nigel Hayes as a power forward off the bench. He's giving this team an incredible amount of toughness and energy. Sam Decker is still a little bit too passive for my taste, but he can be a dynamic offensive player when he wants to be. All the pieces are there. This is not a great team by any stretch, but if you look at what they've been able to do, including winning at Michigan, winning at Iowa, this Wisconsin team to me is really firing on all cylinders, and they have emerged from what I think is the best conference in the country to be the best team in that conference.
Okay, Seth, I'm sold. So now I'm going to give you my Power 5. Feel free to get your critique on. Let's go through my list here. Florida is my number 1 team. I believe this Florida team, nobody's playing better than them in all the land. They're my number 1. Then you've got Kansas, the Jayhawks. Andrew Wiggins has become a more assertive player. He's become that star everybody thought he would become. I saw Wichita State play in person against Loyola just the other week. There's no better balanced team in the land. They don't do anything wrong. They don't commit any mistakes. You got to go out there and beat this team. They won't beat themselves. Syracuse, Tyler Ennis has played like a 5th-year senior. Only a freshman. He has shined. My real surprise, the Tar Heels from North Carolina, ranked number 14 in the land. I think this team has a legitimate shot to run the table. Much like that 2011 UConn team behind Kemba Walker, they lost their last regular season game of the year in 2011, and then they went into that conference tournament in the then Big East, won that whole thing, kept that momentum going all the way to hoisting the trophy. Why not with Marcus Page? Why can't this Carolina team do it? They've discovered their identity, the transition game, and just bullying people on the low block on that backboard. I love this Carolina team. They're my surprise pick.
Well, surprise is definitely the operative word there. But listen, stranger things have happened. I think your Kemba Walker analogy is a very good one. I think the difference is twofold. First of all, Marcus Page is not a playmaker for his teammates. He's a great scorer. But Kemba Walker, I think, had an incredible ability to both get his own points and set up his teammates in a way that maybe Page is not quite at that level. Of course, that's a very high level. But I'll tell you what. At the end of the day, Jordan, the undoing for North Carolina is going to be those free throws. They are ranked dead. How about this? They're ranked dead last in the ACC in foul shooting, and they have the #1 free throw shooter in the league in Marcus Page. I didn't think that was mathematically possible. When they lose in the tournament, and all but one team will end their season with a loss, when North Carolina loses in the tournament, we're going to say, man, if they could have just made their free throws, they would have won the game.
I agree. Wow. That is their Achilles heel.
Yeah, and when with so many close games in the postseason, that could be a difference maker. All right, Seth Davis, thanks very much as always. Louisville lost over the weekend as well, but that's not the only thing, Jordan, that they lost. What else they lose, Rick Pitino lost his beard. That's right. He's pledged to grow one as long as his team was winning. Well, they lost, so out comes the razor and off comes the beard. And it was a very young beard. Beard gone well before its time.
Sad to see it go. Actually, not too sad to see it go. He's better clean shape.
The fascination with facial hair in Louisville on hold, at least for now.
Oh, man.
That's going to do it for us. For Seth Jordan, I'm Ray. Be sure to keep it on Campus Insiders for all your college basketball and football news. Log on and look around. We'll see you next time.